there has been some players in 2K history that have had ridiculously high ratings, and that's exactly what I want to find out in today's video. The 10 players that had the highest ratings in 2K history. 2 rules. First off, you cannot be an all-time player. Yeah, we know Michael Jordan is a 99 overall, but what about players that were a high rating during the season? That's what I'm fascinated about. And also, a lot of these players, I couldn't figure out their rating changes during the season because I couldn't have the roster update information, but I have the start of the year and end of the year, and that is what I'm going to be covering in today's video. ¿Qué pasa to the pack? It is Pack here,
aka your mama's best friend.
Before this video starts, please be an OG, join the pack and subscribe. That would be very helpful. Now, I'm going to start off at number 10, and that is Tracy McGrady. He was a 98 overall in NBA 2K5 or ESPN 2K. So, this was right after he left the Magic. I mean, these are the seasons where he was averaging 30 points plus. He was going off for the Orlando Magic. It was pretty widely considered that Tracy McGrady is one of the best players in the league at the time. It's just that he didn't have good teams. So when he went to the Rockets with Yao freaking Ming, everyone was like, oh shit, this dude's about to go off. And it made sense at the time. Obviously, we know what ended up happening. He started getting hurt. He started playing less and less good. And it was a shame. But at the time, it made sense to make him a 98 overall. Like, it made perfect sense at the time. But now, you know how things go. At number 9 on the list, we have Paul Pierce, who was also a 98 overall in NBA 2K2. So, the thing about the early 2K games, like 2K1, 2, 3, and even ESPN, whatever, it was 2K4, right? All these games were kind of generous with their 2K ratings. Like, a lot of players were in the high 90s that you would have never thought were there. But the one that was really high was Paul Pierce. To be fair, that season, Paul Pierce was averaging 26 points per game. He was shooting 40% from 3 and shooting a lot of threes. And at the time, that was pretty uncommon. And it was kind of one of those seasons where he didn't have a great team. He had Antoine Walker on his team. The team wasn't that bad. He was playing decently well. And I think 2K just kind of overreacted and gave him a 98 overall. I'm not saying Paul Pierce isn't one of the greater players of all time, but 98 overall was kind of high for Paul Pierce. At number 8 on the list, we have 98 overall in 2K7, Dwayne Wade. This one made a lot of sense. When you just win an NBA championship, get finals MVP, and have one of the greatest finals performances of all time at just 24 years old and outplay Shaquille O'Neal on your team, yeah, they're going to make you a 98 overall. It made the most sense ever to make Dwayne Wade a 98 overall. He looked like he was going to be the best player in the NBA at any moment. He was playing that good, and it was that big of a deal. But then, you know, he got LeBron on the team, started winning championships. But at the time, this was his prime. He was the Flash at this time, right? And he was a 98 overall, deservedly at the time, at least in my opinion. At number 7 on the list, we have our first 99 overall, Steph Curry. In NBA 2K16, Steph Curry did not start off as a 99 overall. He started off as an 89. But in the middle of the season, Steph Curry was going insane. He was doing you need to understand, okay? When we were watching Steph Curry play in 2016, it didn't make sense, okay? You need to understand. It didn't make sense what he was doing. He was shooting more threes than anybody was ever shooting in history, was shooting them at 45%, which was insane, and he was doing it from almost half court. We had never seen anything like it before in history, and 2K was so scared of how good he was getting that they had to put him up to a 99 because they didn't design 2K to be able to have a player to score from half court. So they had to basically force it and make him a 99 overall. Now, we already know that at the time, everyone kind of got upset, and it was kind of an overreaction, and they were like, this is way too high for Curry. Why is Curry higher than LeBron? So they dropped him to a 96 later in the year. But at the time, it kind of made sense why he became a 99 overall. At number 6 on the list, we have Chris Paul. In NBA 2K9, he was a 99 overall. And even though that seems high, he was considered the best point guard in the world at the time. And on top of that, he is one of the most broken players in 2K history. Like, he was a monster in 2K9. And on top of that, he was the cover of 2K8, so they already kind of had him on a high horse. Like, he was good. There's no denying that he was always pretty close to 99 overall at that time. At number 5, we have Tim Duncan. He was a 99 overall twice in his career, an NBA 2K4 and an NBA 2K6. And before you think that's kind of no. It makes 100% sense, okay? First of all, he's the first multi 99 overall on this list. First of all. Second, understand, Tim Duncan won back-to-back MVPs, okay, in 2002 and 2003. So that's obviously why he became a 99 overall in 2K4. And then he won 2 championships in those years in between from 2K4 and 2K6. So obviously, Tim Duncan at the time was looking like an all-time great off-rip. I mean, you won back-to-back MVPs, finals MVPs. You had 3 championships up to 2K6, okay? You have to make the man a 99 overall. He's shown you what he can do. There was no reason why he shouldn't have been anything lower. So that's why he's been a 2-time 99 overall. It made sense. At number 4 on this list, we have the late, great Kobe Bean Bryant. A 99 overall twice in his career. Look, in 2K5, he became a 99 overall. This was the year after Shaq had left, okay? And Kobe was going out of his mind. He was putting up in video game numbers because, I mean, who else was going to get buckets? So we all knew how good Kobe was and made him a 99 overall. That makes sense. And in 2K9, Kobe was different, okay? He was about to win a championship with Saul, and I'll go into why he was a 99 overall more in a little bit later in this video. But yeah, it made sense 2K9 as well. I mean, it was obvious he was going to win a championship that year, or at least it was really expected. He was one of the best players in the league. It made the most sense. At number 3 on this list, it is LeBron, 99 overall, twice in his career. If I'm being honest, I'm surprised it's only twice. I'm surprised it wasn't 2K7, because in 2K7, that was the 2017 that he dragged to the finals. In 2K9, he was a 99 overall. I mean, he was putting up insane numbers. It made the most sense. In 2K14, we saw villain LeBron. There was never a better LeBron in history. I mean, this dude was in the Miami Heat when he was in his prime, okay? He was winning MVPs. He was winning championships. This was the best LeBron we'd ever seen. This is the second greatest player of all time. It is obvious why he was a 99 overall multiple years in his career. At number 2, this one's going to be the most surprising for sure. Kevin Garnett was a 99 overall 4 times in his career. 4 times. Now, I think that this deserves some context before you get upset and why you're like, there's no way Kevin Garnett gets 99 4 times compared to other people on this list. But understand, I think, the situation, okay? In 2K1, when he became a 99 overall for the first time in his career, he was putting up 23 points per game on 12 rebounds. And 2K at that time was being generous with their ratings, as I've already told you before. Like in 2K2, they gave Paul Pierce a 98. Like if Paul Pierce was a 98, then what was Kevin Garnett? A 99, right? It made sense. In 2K5, he had just won the MVP award, okay? He made it to the conference finals and lost to the champions that year before. So obviously, Kevin Garnett was going to be a 99 overall that year. In 2K6, he was putting up identical numbers he was putting up on his MVP season, so there was no reason why to downgrade him, so that's why he was still a 99 overall. And then in 2K9, he had just went to the Celtics. He was a cover athlete, and they were expected to win a championship that year, as he was the best player in the regular season. And they were setting up the rivalry with the Lakers because Kobe was also a 99 overall, and it was obvious that they were going to play each other. And so it was setting up that rivalry, and that's why he was a 99 that year too. And you know what? It's probably well-deserved every year. I think he deserved to be a 99 every single year, right? The most 99s of anybody in 2K history, even at number 1 on this list. But I do think that maybe other players like LeBron, for example, might have deserved it a little more. And finally, at number 1, you probably already know about this one, Shaq. 100 overall rating in NBA 2K2, making him the only player to be 100 overall ever. And before you think that's ridiculous, you don't understand, okay? First of all, he has multiple 99 overalls already. Shaq became the only player to be 100 overall. Listen, he had just won 3 championships in a row, okay? He won finals MVP in every single championship that he won of the 3, right? He won MVP the season before the game comes out, right? He was widely considered already as the most dominant player ever, okay? If you watched Shaq at that time, you would understand why they needed to break the game to make him 100. He was so good that it didn't make sense. That is it for this list. What do y'all think about it? Do you agree with 2K or disagree? Leave it in the comments below. And if you like this channel, please give it a sub. And I'll see you guys next time.